Hey everyone, and welcome to the Millennial Motivation Podcast with me, James Hackney. Let's get inspired and let's get motivated. Hey, it's the Millennial Motivation Podcast, guys. Welcome back. You are joining me as I record this podcast on a Sunday afternoon. Now, if you are not following your passion, if you are not following your purpose, you more than likely are sat at home now, feet up, watching the TV, thinking, oh, it's Monday tomorrow, bring on the weekend, having the weekend blues, having the Monday morning thoughts of dragging yourself up, not motivated, looking forward to work for 5 days of work. But woo, guys, give 5 days of your week next week and you can have 2 days off to do what you want. Wow. So that's a kind of Sunday evening that you don't want to be having. You want to be enjoying your Sunday. You want to be looking forward to the week ahead and looking forward to what you can accomplish. And this all ties in nicely with waking up on a Monday morning and having your purpose, knowing where you want to go in life. Because even if you know what your purpose is and you are going to a job tomorrow morning that you necessarily don't like, you know that you are working towards your purpose and this is only a temporary fix. So that keeps you going, that drives you forward. And I'm buzzing for next week. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this evening. But that's because I know that I'm going to be working towards my purpose. And me getting up to the job that I dislike tomorrow morning is only a temporary thing. We've got to put in the hours first to get there, reap the awards. Now, your purpose has to say, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to achieve. And this is my purpose and what I was born to do. It's got to be bold and it's got to be out there so you know deep down in your heart what your purpose is. Now, you consume then your daily routine and your habits around your purpose in life. And most people will never really realise that they can actually have a purpose in life. They will never give it a second thought or even be asked to finding it out. And that really frustrates me. That really fucking winds me up because people are just settling for the bare minimum when us millennials have so much potential to tap into. Society wants us to be robots. School was not made for entrepreneurs, for people who want to break the mold and follow their purpose in life. School was made for you to go and then work, have a career and then retire. Now, a purpose is basically a big goal in your life. And if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. Your purpose has to have you feeling where the hairs are sticking up on your arms or where you feel like, wow, that's dangerous, that's adventurous. Because then it scares you and it makes you think, do you know what? It's going to drive me forward because it seems big, but I know I can achieve it. And when you find and when you start working towards your purpose, you will start to have a fulfilling life. You will start to feel more positive. You will start to feel like you are making a difference, not only to yourself, but to other people. That you're leaving a legacy. And that when you wake up in the morning, you know the direction you're going in and a path that you can stick to when you feel distracted. Because distractions will come and attack you from all angles throughout the day and throughout your life. But then when you know what your purpose is, you can bring yourself back and narrow in on that purpose. You are an amazing and unique person. So your purpose is unique and amazing. And don't let anybody else tell you that you're not. And these are your prime years. So let's not settle for mediocrity when you yourself are not mediocre. Let's enhance and follow these amazing and unique goals that will really make you feel special and give you some satisfaction, some purpose and some fulfillment in your life. And when I realised I needed my purpose was in April 2018 when I was spending 14 to 15 hours in the depressed state in that house with just staring at the white walls in the living room watching terrible daytime TV, hopeless, no energy, numb, no motivation. And I had no purpose to get up throughout the day. The depression amplified that. But I needed a reason to start moving, but my purpose and even thinking of a purpose seemed a lifetime away. And I remember that around the time was I was living away from my family and it was only 30 minutes, like 20 miles down the road, but they felt so far away and I felt so cut off from them. And it was a different town, but I was so isolated, but in fact I wasn't far away from them at all. But when I was trying to find my purpose, all the self-doubt crept in. I kept telling myself, you can't do this, James. Who the fuck do you think you are? Go back to your job, or just sitting on the sofa eating chocolates or crisps. You aren't worthy of doing this. Look at where you are now. And all these areas kept attacking me. And I don't know if that's an experience that you've had where you want to do something so bad, but you have these thoughts that are in your mind that are just attacking you all the time and bringing you down. So I decided to enjoy the journey and embrace finding my purpose. I didn't put much pressure on myself at all, no expectations. And I really then, once I'd come back from travelling and I discovered so much more about myself, that I realised that I love talking and helping people. I love motivation. I have lived a dream and lived outside my comfort zone. And I have felt life running through my veins, and I want other millennials to experience life. And that's not necessarily travelling around the world. That's just experiencing what you can actually achieve when you put your mind to it. And I identified that my purpose was to stop millennials dying in their 20s, only then to be buried 50 years later. And then I linked that to my why I wanted to do that. And it excites me, and I'm passionate about breaking the cycles that society expects us millennials to settle for and for you to settle for, when we as millennials have already experienced so much, and we have so much more to experience and feel in our body. And then I set about my how. How could I work towards my purpose? And how I found my purpose was really investing in myself. I looked at, what do I enjoy? What am I passionate about? What are my interests? What excites me? What wakes me up in the morning and I think, I want to do that because it excites me, or I would love to do that because it excites me. I also looked at how I wanted to be remembered at my eulogy. So when I had passed away and they're having my funeral, and wherever it is, it's going to be in the future, so it'll be probably some space age technology. God knows where the world is going. But probably a little bit random that was. But what do I want people talking about me? What do I want them saying about me? And I link that back to my interests and what do I enjoy. And then if I had 6 months left to live on this planet, what would I do? What I want to experience, and how would I want to go about that? Because then I think with this limited time, because we are on limited time anyway, because we're here for such a short amount of time. But if I had 6 months, I would do something that's purposeful, something that means something, and I would leave a legacy. And then the final one is, what were my values? What did I believe in? Because what I believe in, I will want to conduct through my work, I will want to follow, and I want to live. So I want to live through myself. So I thought, what were my values? Now, you will not figure out your purpose immediately. It will take some time. There is no correct blueprint. There's loads of ways people say you can follow your purpose. But don't put too much pressure on yourself. And it will get difficult. You'll sit there and you'll be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I don't know how. Now, I want to tell you a story that you've probably heard already that really inspired me, and may even inspire you, because you've probably heard it already when you are facing difficult times around your purpose and how to achieve your purpose. Now, it goes by a very, very well-known gentleman called Nelson Mandela. And Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison between 1964 to 1990. Now, he was fighting to banish the apartheid that was in South Africa. But most of that time, he was in prison. And he was fighting for something before and during prison. And people could have forgiven him and understood him for giving up when he was sat in the cell during the dark days, during the difficult times. I can't imagine emotionally what he was going through. But he still kept working towards that purpose. He had a purpose to banish apartheid. That was his purpose. And he believed in it and stuck to his purpose throughout them 27 years. And when he came out, he was the first black president and set up a multiracial government. And then I was like, if he can do that from a prison cell where he's been for 27 years and never give up, I have no excuse. No excuse at all. I can do this because I have so much more opportunities than he did. The only difference between me, you and Nelson Mandela is he stuck to his purpose, and he was willing to die for that purpose because he knew he couldn't live a a life that was meaningful and fulfilled until he had achieved his purpose. Now, your purpose might be to have children, create a loving family, and create a platform for your children to do well in life. Perfect. That is a perfect kind of purpose in life, because you're giving stuff back to somebody. It's not all about you. It's not about you. It's about other people. Your children, if you've got children now, it's about your children. It's about your family. It's about helping other people. But then you link that into your why. Why do you want that purpose? What does it mean to you? Because when it gets difficult, you'll then go back to your why, as we discussed in a few previous episodes. And then, because that's your purpose, you will fully immerse yourself into that purpose. You will need to devote yourself to it. And you will do, because it's something that comes from your heart and it means something to you. It's your purpose, so you will devote your life to it. And you will have fun, because you will only be able to influence in your life. You will only be able to influence this in your life, and it's all in a positive way. You will feel uplifted, rewarding. It's uplifting, it's rewarding, and it's in a way that you could never ever imagine. You will feel like you have done so much of your life and achieved so much, because it's true. You will have, because you are working towards that purpose. And when you are looking for your purpose, as I've already mentioned, don't put pressure on yourself. Don't force the issue. Keep it simple and don't overcomplicate it. We think because it's complicated, it's right. And if it appears too easy and too simple, it's not right. That couldn't be farther from the truth. The simpler it is, the more easy it is to follow. Just set it straight. It doesn't have to be a big long page, a big long essay of what your purpose is. Make it 1 or 2 lines. And as I have already mentioned, my purpose is to stop millennials dying in their 20s to then only be buried 50 years later. If you want fulfillment, if you want a life of achievement and to actually feel like you are doing something with this short life that we have to make the most of your time. You have to start actioning these things right away, because there's no time. There's no time to do these things because of how quick life goes. And once you have your purpose, you have to take action to working towards it. You have to, because time is running out. So start now, action now. Start thinking about the questions that I've mentioned and start answering them in your mind. Take a couple of days, because once you find your purpose, you will never ever look back, because you will just excel and move forward and have a mindset of, right, this is where I'm going and this is what I'm doing. And nothing will stop you, because you're dangerous, because you know where you want to go in life. So it's been a really good episode. I'm glad I've talked about that today, because that's really something that I'm passionate about. So have a great rest of your day, and any questions, hit me up on Instagram at Millennial Motivation Podcast, or email at millennialmotivationpodcast@hotmail.com. See you around, guys, and have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to the Millennial Motivation Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you could head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show, as well as leave us a rating, that would be amazing. And if you have any questions, head over to Instagram at Millennial Motivation Podcast and drop me a DM.